but I like the big unifier for peers and us was the lack of the talk. The storks becoming dropping seashells. I don't know. They'd be like, what?
Nice bridge there. Real smooth.
No, Vicky. Vicky. Oh man. But yeah, what the talk never happened. I don't know. It's
I think
like
that is a cultural thing with like both Asians and as Christians. We don't talk about sex.
Is it? I don't know. Well, I don't really talk to. I don't talk to many Christians of different ethnicities, so I don't really. I'm not aware. But I can believe it.
Well, I still think that like. I mean, yeah, I guess I haven't either, but I still feel like a lot of the reasons why parents or like people justify not talking about it is because the Bible just says don't have sex till marriage, and that's all we gotta say, you know. So even like they use that as like a justification for it.
I guess.
I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
I feel if they're being honest with themselves at the core, it's also like it's just an awkward conversation in the first place.
Oh yeah.
It's like I just something I've been thinking. Well, you can apply this to a lot of things in life, but so a lot of things as you do adulting, there's like no manual. Like, no one teaches you how to do it.
Mm.
So then, like instead of actually like trying to stumble along and like get through it, you just kind of like, what? Let's just not do it.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, it's the easy way out, right?
So just avoid talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I find that so problematic.
I mean, yeah, it definitely is. I'm just trying to call it as I see it, you know? Yeah.
I feel like, what if we asked our parents, like, how did you find out what sex was? Because I mean, probably their parents didn't talk to them about it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if their parents had talked to them, then they would have talked to us about it.
And then, man. Probably. I don't know why I think these things. But I think about, like, people's wedding nights is like, so...
Oh my gosh.
How do you figure out how to do it? Do you just both stumble around?
Yeah, no, I thought about that too. I was thinking about, like, when we're engaged, to be like... Just no, like don't put too much expectation on the wedding night. I feel like a lot of people have this idea in their head, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have the best sex of my life on my wedding night. You're probably not. You're like chances are, most definitely not.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. What's this one? Man, our parents still joke about sex and love like the sports.
Oh,
at least Dad does. I was like,
the birds and the bees.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like I also feel like the words have like so much power. Like, well, I don't know. I feel like we talk about maybe rape more easily. But we don't really use the word sex, right? Like, it's not like
even
it's not
at
a
the
bad
beginning,
word.
we were like kind of beating around the bush talking about it.
Yeah. See,
like the talk instead of just talking about sex.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like you can use it. It's not. It's natural. It's God's gift as well. But okay, man. So many layers. It also goes into like the Asian cultural aspect of like honor and shame. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's where us as a family is more Asian.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, man. And then like Okay, I need to keep talking.
What?
I was thinking too many things, and then nothing came out.
Oh. And
So going into the future, like, I don't know if you want kids, because, like, I know, like, you don't, correct me if I'm wrong, like, you don't want to have kids, probably, as of right now, like, naturally, right? Or, like...
yeah, so my stance, or I guess not a stance, but just like my hope is that I will adopt kids and not have kids through natural birth. I'm not like 100% against having kids through natural birth, and I know that like it's like such a privilege to be able to do that because a lot of people can't. But it's just, I don't know. I just have such a strong heart to adopt, and so I don't really see it as like necessary for me to like raise a family that comes out of my womb. Like I feel, I don't know.
Cool.
That's where I'm at.
Alright, so now we have the context. So assuming, right, you have a child and adopted, like, have you ever, well, this is really far in the future, but like,
thought about
having the talk?
Yes, I have. I've talked to other people about this too, like how we would have the talk with our kids in the future. And I think it's like, yeah, like that's way down the line. But I think it's cool to talk about it now because it gives us like a place and a chance to talk about it like while we're young, and just to talk about it because we don't really get to a lot of times. So yeah, I have asked people that. I don't know. I think it is really important to talk about sex with your kids like fairly openly because I want them to know that like your job as a parent is to like give direction and guidance and advice, right? And especially as like Christians, like we or like the Bible has a lot of direction, I guess, about sex too. And so like if we want our kids to be able to follow that, we need to talk about it. And and I think it's just important, like even if you want like your kids to abstain until marriage, I think it's just like you just gotta teach them how to have safe sex though. Like it's just like, cause you cannot control them, right? And I'd rather them do it safely than like look up stuff on the internet or hear things from their friends and peers and like be misinformed about it. Like there's just so much damage that can happen that way. And like not even just like sex, but like masturbation and like porn. Like I think you really need to talk to your kids about that like pretty young because
you block their Wi-Fi.
But it's just like I think it would have been really, I mean I can't even imagine what it would have been like to have that kind of talk when I was young. But like I had all these urges and all these feelings that I didn't know what it was or what to do with it. I felt so like shameful and dirty about it. But it's natural, like it's part of growing up. Like that's why puberty is so awkward and like, you know, like that's why it is that way. And so it's just like like instead of having them just hide it or release it in whatever like random ways that are uninformed, like I want them to feel like you can ask me about it. You can ask me like why am I like horny, or like what does horny mean, or like why do people joke about this at school? Like I don't understand. Or like what if I do like want to have sex or something, like how would I protect myself, right?
Good. We should make everyone, the parents and child, watch Just Around the Corner. And then the kid just has to sit there, and then afterwards the parents like, any questions?
What? Okay, honestly, the only thing I remember from Just Around the Corner is the theme song.
Oh, I remember
I don't even
They were
remember
showing like
talking
the
about
pubic
sex.
hair evolution. It was like so funny. I don't even know if they talked about sex. They talked about puberty, of course.
Yeah, they talked about the
And
development
like,
of the
yeah,
physical
the
parts.
gonads, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not until your health class in middle school where they just slap you and then they give you the STDs too. It's like, oh.
Yeah, they showed us pictures of it, and I was like, I didn't know what a healthy penis looks like. So that was the only reference I had. Like, oh my gosh.
Oh man.
That's pretty
You know,
funny.
it makes me think about like when is the right time to talk about it? Because like the health class, you have that window between just around the corner in fourth and fifth grade.
Yeah.
Like, girls watched it early. I remember they watched it in fourth grade because they started. At least that was for my
Maybe,
years.
yeah.
And then the boys would get it.
Yeah.
And then everyone, for us, got it in 7th grade.
Health?
Yeah, health.
Yeah.
Really. Oh my goodness, I can't imagine talking to like a 11-year-old. Or like,
I know.
11, 12, 13?
It's kind of crazy, but I just like... But that's just how the body is, and then you need to talk about it, right?
Be like those parents if you have a son with use a condom. I don't know. Yeah, I just think.
Yeah, there's so many like comical, but also just like terrible examples of how to talk about sex, and there's not a lot of good examples, right? Like it's just hard because I haven't seen it done well.
Yeah. And then like the church doesn't talk about it too, right?
Yeah,
like,
I think that was such a huge. I think that was such a huge problem in high school for me. Just because I was like, wait, all my friends are talking about it. How come we don't? And then, like, if we talked about it in church, it would be so minimal. Just don't have it.
Put it away.
just don't be horny. And I was like, okay, that doesn't really give me practical steps. That doesn't give me a place to talk about. Like, that doesn't validate how I'm feeling or anything. Like, that's just...
Yeah.
It's just kind of like we don't really want to know and don't do it. Which is not helpful.
Right. I think that's where the youth minister pastor really comes in. Because they have, like, the authority and the trust, I hope, you know, to be able to enter into that space. And I know, like, FBCC's done, like, a series about it. Something. Like, Kevin's talked to me about it. Kevin Lee from episode 2.
Go watch that if you haven't already.
And yeah, so that's cool, but like obviously FECC is like the biggest of all the Chinese. Well, they don't even call it all the Chinese churches, but yeah, and it's cool.
Yeah.
I guess like maybe camp like is sort of a space, sort of. It's like it's like it's not the greatest, but it's like I guess it's something.
I think it's a good stepping stone.
Yeah.
Actually, camp was like one of the few places that I ever really was able to hear about it or talk about it. Because like a lot of the messages they would include that, and a lot of the speakers were most of the speakers were male, and then they would also like usually bring up like sins in their past, like in their history and their story, and be pretty open about it, which was good. I guess for me also, like as a woman or as a girl, like I kind of wish that there were more girls that were like a little bit older than me that were able to speak about it more too, because I felt like it was so, like, even though it takes a lot of vulnerability to talk about like guys watching porn as like a pastor or something, I think it's like that's pretty common though. Like
Yeah.
it's
yeah.
pretty like well known that like most guys watch porn.
That's
so
a really interesting.
right? But then they don't really talk about girls as much, like as if we don't have the same urges, right? We're just like we just are able to hide it a little better, I guess.
Yeah, I think on that topic. I think it's like in my head it was always like, oh, girls, they're fine. They're like they have everything under control. I mean, they kind of have like the periods and like those moody times. But other than that, they're fine.
Yeah.
And then like I don't know when that whole wall was shattered. I was like, oh, yeah. I guess they have hormones and urges too.
Yeah, like I think it just like all the lack of testimony or just like the lack of spaces to talk about it for girls has just like reinforced that idea that oh, it's not even a problem. Like if we don't talk about it, then it's not a problem.
Yeah,
but it's just it's even worse because it's like a hidden problem.
Right, and it goes back again. Like being Asian doesn't help. Our culture is like this is a big taboo.
Yeah.
Again with the honor shame thing, like gotta be such a perfect little child.
Yeah. One thing I do appreciate about it though is like I guess okay this is probably like the line of how vulnerable I'll be about this topic, but I'm a pretty horny person in general, and so I've appreciated K-dramas right now because I can have a media that I can watch where there is not a sex scene in every episode. And that helps me a lot. Okay, it's so hard to watch American shows where they just talk about sex all the time. They have sex every other episode, and like they don't even just like show them going into the bedroom. They show a lot, and it's like I did not ask for 3 minutes of porn. Like, I just wanted the plot, and, like, I wanted to see character development. Like, I didn't want to see that, you know? But they just, because, like, American culture, like, they put, like, sex on a pedestal. So it's, like, they just, like, put it in all the media and stuff, and so it's, like, that's too much for me. I can't handle that. So that's, like, one thing I think is good about it.
That's a really roundabout point. I mean, yes.
Yeah, I think it's bad that they don't talk about it, but it's good that it's not put everywhere, like sexualizing stuff. Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Well, good thing I don't watch American TV. I just watch anime.
Okay, but Japanese. I'm just kidding.
Well, to be fair, like, cartoons can be quite lewd. The etch. Yikes. What was I thinking about? Man.
Asian American shame and...
Or, I mean, I kind of can go off of the tangent. Like, the sex culture is so big. It's,
Talking about America?
Yeah, America.
Yeah.
It's like, man. It's crazy to me to think about, like, I don't know what the 50s were called, but, like, that was, like, the, like, glorious, like, white picket fence, like, nice neighbors, everyone's, like, hi, and, like, your door's unlocked, you're playing with the neighbors' kids. Yeah, right. Milkman's like, there you go. It's like...
Yes, okay, what about it?
Like, and the TV shows would be, like, the purest things. I think there was a lot of racism, but, like, other than I mean, but there'd be there'd be no sex, right? I think like
it was still
the most provocative thing was like a kiss. It was like, oh, it's a kiss.
Yeah. Passionate kiss.
Oh, what was it? Well, 70 years now. I mean, I guess that's kind of I don't know. It's not a long time out. But like, our times
like
have
a
changed.
180.
Yeah. Like, oh man. crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like, it's really hard to have like a balance of like freedom to talk about it without shoving it in your face all the time. Yeah.